Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fashion Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith, and I'm here, as always, with Marcy Carmack. Today, we're looking at Vivian Westwood. Vivian Westwood can't be here with us, but that's not going to stop us, is it, Marcy? I think Vivian's really going to enjoy our look at Vivian Westwood. Vivian actually is new to me, but Marcy is somewhat more familiar with her. We're going to go right to our slideshow here and take a look. And this is all from her current show. Is that correct, Marcy? Her current season. This is fall, winter 21. Is that right?
Fall 2021.
Fall 2021. So, I mean, I'm a visual merchandiser, and I'm loving this. I love the backdrop. I love the scene. I love the positioning of the figures. And I guess you can tell us about the fashion. What are we looking at here?
Well, actually, I'm a stylist, so I was into the whole scene. I basically chose to do her because, one, she's sustainable, and two, because I saw this and I was like, wow, it looks fantastic. And then we go into the...
Well, I just want to talk about this really quickly, though. So you mentioned you're a fashion stylist. So this is one of these topics where we're looking at a fashion designer and a stylist, right? Because she's designing fashion piece items and fashion apparel, but then she's also styling it. So we've got like the gender bender thing going on here, and it's not unisex anymore. What do they call it? What's the latest term? Trends? No, it's not even called. What is it called, Marcy?
Let's stick with unisex, because that other one didn't.
Oh, androgynous. Androgynous. That's the term that we're looking for. So we've got that going on, and she is bringing in a lot, like little references here from aristocracy and different eras.
Yeah, she just mashes it all up, and it's very interesting. It's fun. And so I like this look on the left. It's a traditional double-breasted coat, and there's a silk dress underneath with a sash that sort of looks as though it's his tie.
And this coat is kind of coming and going, isn't it? It's got like two different coats sewn together here.
Yes, you can see the check on the left lapel. So it's fun. Everything she does there's nothing boring about anything. So that's fun. And on the right, I guess this is probably the most boring. It's not really boring. She's got a corset on, it looks like, and then the trifoil hat, or is it
I think we're calling it tri-point. I think we were corrected. Is tri-point?
Yeah, I think
tri-corner. I think that was the term. Actually, I realized I think trifoil actually refers to stained glass or architecture. So I think it was tri-corner. Colonial, or later in the deck, we'll take a look at one that looks almost like Napoleonic. So could be colonial American or Napoleonic inspired, but definitely a aristocratic kind of item, a touch. And then you said this is one of the more wearable.
I would say so. Yeah.
Looks we're seeing here. Terrific.
And then, I don't know, I just love this image on the left with a woman in wavy hair, sort of, and the print that looks very, not Romanesque, but what did I say?
Painting,
Renaissance.
right? It's a painting, right?
Yeah.
It's silk screen onto the fabric, and this is the same fabric on the vest. Is that right?
It looks a little different because the one on the scarf looks very pink, but the one on her blouse is used throughout.
And she's got a little troubadour look going on here, right? Like a bullfighter, essentially, with the short jacket and essentially the cape. And then
I don't think it's a jacket, but
the terrific shoes.
That is Vivian.
Earlier, we were discussing that Vivian was instrumental, I guess it would have been the late 70s, in the development of punk rock, the punk scene in London, with the introduction of her shop, which was essentially a vintage resale shop, and some of her own designs crept in. The shop is called Sex, and as I understand it, her boyfriend or partner, love interest, whatever they called it then and call it now, was the leader of the rock band, Sex Pistols. So that was kind of a nuance that I certainly wasn't aware of. She's got quite the history. Marcy, what can you tell us is going on here?
To the best of my abilities, it looks like a sweater, a poncho sweater in really great colors, and then a sleeveless t-shirt that says true, does that say punk?
We
Yeah,
think
true
it
punk.
says punk. So what's old again is new again. She's bringing punk back. When I think of punk, I think of the safety pins and the piercing and the hair sticking up. I guess it's the same idea of the irreverence still going on, just in a new iteration. And we've also kind of think that she's somewhat mocking the aristocracy or the ruling class, the establishment. Is that what's going on here?
Yes. I mean, well, she has mocked it throughout. And I don't know. I mean, this one on the left is beautiful, I think. I love the.
And this is one that kind of the pose kind of seemed Napoleon-like.
I guess that's just classically beautiful.
Well, maybe the tight pants. It's kind of like the Napoleonic idea. And this, the way he's got this pushback, like cutaway coat kind of thing, and then the hat. It's very Napoleon-esque looking. And then Marcy, what's going on here with these shoulder pads? What happened here? Is this the 80s coming back?
A little bit of the 80s, a little bit of the punk rock, all in one. So there's a little bit for everyone in this collection.
And there's your favorite pink. I know you're not a fan of pink, but that seems to be working in this instance, isn't it?
Yes. So she is, as we mentioned, she's into sustainability, and this is one of her initiatives that is about stopping plastics. Do you remember in the ocean? I can't remember exactly, but
I think at the rate we're going, we will all be living and breathing and eating plastic, as I understand the narrative. But now, more importantly, she's got the tartan going here, right? Because she is a proper British girl somewhere in there, and she's got the tartan. And as I understand, she's always incorporating tartan somewhere in her collection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's terrific. This is nice jacket, nice coat, nice styling.
Mm-hmm.
It's believable. And then how about the velvet suit?
I love the velvet suit. I think that you said that you'd wear one or the other.
Well, I think we decided it's very wearable. Like, this is a cohesive statement. It's the material is what's making it outrageous, but basically the silhouette and the design is pretty conventional, pretty wearable, and it's very believable. It's styled a little outrageously, but I think that would make a statement.
I think it's fairly tame for our designer.
I thought it was kind of amusing too, because she is English, and this kind of I thought it had a nod to the famous Gainsborough portrait, Blue Boy. The idea that
it's a gorgeous
piece of history.
It's a gorgeous shade of blue. I mean, you can say, oh, it's a velvet suit, but the color blue is just beautiful. So you have to think of those little things when you look at designer collections. You're paying for those things.
And these are both very rich, very colorful, very multi-layered, little evocative here. And
yeah, what did we decide?
I think we decided that, it's a little bit of a shock value going on here. And the styling, I guess this is a social prejudice, but it looks like she's still got the rollers in her hair. And the pose is really pretty aggressive, but it's got the print and it's got the
I would say shoes. Punk was pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I think it has shock value. And then over here, this seems tame by comparison, even though he's got a handbag. But again, that's a styling thing. And we're not saying he's going to be wearing this handbag, but it's a way just to bring attention to the lady's handbag in this pose. And the coat is luxurious, isn't it?
It is. And the shoes are nice as well. And we're seeing the Argyle socks throughout, which is very English as well. And
this last slide, I threw in this picture of Marianne Moore, who's an American poet, most well known for the fact that as a poet, she seldom rhymed. That was her hallmark, her trademark, is that her poems did not rhyme. But she had this tricorner hat on, and that was what she wore. That was part of her everyday costume as a writer and as a celebrity in the American scene. And Vivian Westwood, of course, has been using that same hat throughout her collection. Also, Marianne Moore was featured in an advertising campaign guess in the 50s with Muhammad Ali for Braniff Airline. And I was intrigued to learn that Vivian Westwood at one point, maybe even recently, designed uniforms for Virgin Airlines, which I thought was kind of an interesting turn of anti-establishment. And then she's, designing for corporations. We didn't mention, of course, Vivian's ongoing campaign to extradite and to litigate the case of Julian Assange in his favor. And as Marcy mentioned, she is an activist for sustainability issues. And we recently visited her site, Climate Revolution, where she had a very aggressive message in the spirit of the punk rock era against global warming and capitalism and just about every other ism you could think of. So you have to give the lady credit. She's in her 80s, we believe, and she's still creating fashion, creating controversy, and driving the business culture and social aspects of fashion. Marcy, any other closing thoughts about this prolific designer?
No, just come on the ride, take a look. I mean, I've been in fashion for many years and haven't looked at all of these designers, so it's really fun.
Well, I agree. Every time we look at somebody, we learn more and we appreciate them more, and they seem more relevant and
relatable
to us. So thank you so much for joining us today for Fashion Coffee, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.